Now, were you surprised Bill went to WWE? And how do you rate his tenure there?
Um, well, I was kind of involved in that because Vince asked me if I thought Bill could succeed up there, and I said most definitely. I don't think his first run was as good as this last run. Um, you took time off, and when he came the last time, Sean, Hunter, myself, Dave ran the first time, right? They had a ton of guys to feed Bill. And that's basically what I did. I probably wrestled Bill more times in WWE when I was in my 50s than I did, back in the 90s at WCW. As did Hunter, and we all just fed Bill. But it was a pleasure to do it. Bill was a good guy, and I think he left on not real good terms the first time, but he came back this time, and it's kind of like I say, the guys that made a name for themselves that mean something 10 years after they've been removed and can come back and mean something, those are the guys that are special, and the fans should recognize that. Whether they like their work, whether they're critical of it or not, they deserve it, and Bill has made himself worth this every time he's come back.
Now, one thing I never realized till researching for this show, Bill wasn't the first guy to use the spear, but he might have been the guy to first really popularize it. When he used that spear, I don't know what it felt like, but it looked like a ton of bricks.
Oh no, really? Really? Yeah. He weighs 280 pounds. What do you think it felt like?
Well, the point is, it got over. I mean,
Yeah,
it just looked devastating, and I guess it was.
It was. It wasn't like Edge. Edge's spear. Which way do you want me to lean, Adam? Bill, he could hear nothing. Spear, jackhammer. Okay.
Now, Bill didn't work 5-star matches like we talked about earlier, and it's good to remember that because it goes to show you don't have to work 5-star matches to get over. I mean, people like to watch him. I know I do.
He drew
I don't
money.
think it's integral.
No, he drew money. 5-star matches mean nothing if you're not drawing money.
I wish more people would know that today.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of 5-star matches that don't draw money. A 5-star according to who again? I mean, everything is like, who said that? And I hate the word they. Who's they?
Well, we know who, Meltzer.
Well, whatever else, believe it, I think there's a lot more people that have a voice in wrestling that don't deserve to have one than Dave. Like I say, Dave, like you, has legitimately followed it. You're not some guy coming in out of nowhere that's starting to catch up on the history of wrestling by watching YouTube. The guys that have followed it and pay attention to it closely, as you and I talk about with hockey, if you look at 30 years of it and we love it, we talk about it, and we could talk about it forever. It's these people that come in and then try to catch up on the history of wrestling through YouTube or through Vince's library that should never have a word to say about it.
Now
you can't catch up on it if you didn't watch it and didn't live it.
Who would you compare Bill to from back in the day? Was anybody reminiscent of Bill back near the start of your career?
Wow.
Because this really kind of
reminds
me of the phenomenon he was.
I think Bill was pretty unique, When I started my career, who was like that? I can't think of anyone that had that style.
I'm not sure anybody that big was that athletic back then.
Yeah, exactly.
And had that real. I mean, Bill was a Georgia Bulldog. He was an NFL player. Sorry,
two-time All-SEC, not just a Bulldog.
Yeah, right. So he had that legitimacy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of guys when I started were like, there were certainly as tough as Bill, maybe even a lot, guys like Wahoo McDaniels and that. But those guys in those days, they wouldn't have let Bill do that. So Bill wouldn't have been spearing Blackjack Mulligan or Harley Race. So Harley would have said, "Come up with something that works for both of us." I mean, I don't think anybody would be spearing Jack Briscoe. When I started in the business, the guys were a little different, and you certainly weren't going to beat Harley Race in 10 minutes.